Benjamin Netanyahu's warnings about Iran go back a long way.
Time is running out. They hope we'll reach the eastern seaboard of the United States within 15 years.
Weeks away from having the fissile material for an entire arsenal of nuclear bombs.
Last week, there was a similar message.
Iran could produce a nuclear weapon in a very short time. It could be a year, it could be within a few months, less than a year.
But there are questions about whether that's the case. Israel says it's targeted two of Iran's nuclear facilities, Natanz and Isfahan. It hasn't said if it's targeted another called Fordo. And Iran acknowledges that Fordo and Natanz produce enriched uranium, which can be used in power plants and nuclear weapons. Iran, though, says its nuclear program is peaceful. On this, the global nuclear watchdog has raised concerns about the growth of Iran's stockpile of highly enriched uranium. And it says it can't verify Iran's intentions are entirely peaceful because of a lack of cooperation. But it found no proof of a systematic effort to move into a nuclear weapon. Or there's the US. In March, its Director of National Intelligence said the US continues to assess that Iran is not building a nuclear weapon. But on that, President Trump has now said this.
I don't care what she said. I think they were very close to having.
He gave no evidence to support that claim. And all of this follows the 2015 nuclear deal between Iran and the US, the UK and others. In return for sanctions relief, Iran agreed to limit its enrichment of uranium to civilian purposes. But in 2018, President Trump pulled the US out of the deal, calling it disastrous. US sanctions returned, and Iran, which had stuck to the terms of the deal, began to breach them. And that's continued.
Since then, Iran has significantly increased the number of centrifuges it operates to enrich uranium. It has significantly increased its stockpiles of uranium.
For its part, Israel is widely believed to have nuclear weapons, though it refuses to confirm or deny this and hasn't signed the UN Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty. And as we watch this conflict, we know of Iran's threats and hostility towards Israel, that it doesn't recognize its right to exist. And we know Israel wants regime change in Iran. But Israel's justification for these attacks is that it faces an imminent and existential threat from Iran's nuclear program. So far, that doesn't match publicly available evidence or expert assessments.